Hey, this is Sandeep and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's class, I am going to teach you 20 common English phrases which will help you to speak fluent English, and I will also let you know how to use and when to use these common English phrases in our day-to-day life. So let's roll the intro. Fine. So the first common English phrase is long time no see. So when you have not met your friend since long and suddenly you saw your friend after 1 year, you use this phrase long time no see. Suppose I have a friend, his name is Rahul. I have not met him. Suddenly after 1 year I said what? Hey buddy, long time no see, how are you? So this long time no see, number one. Number two, don't take it to heart. What does that mean? Don't take it to heart. Suppose you say something unpleasant to your friend and you feel that he may hurt. So you say it, don't take it to your heart. Suppose I talk with my friend, suppose Rahul, I say, Rahul, you are my good friend, but I don't like your laziness. Please don't take it to your heart. That means Rahul is your friend. You said that Rahul is lazy, then you realize by your word maybe Rahul is hot. So what you say? Please don't take it to your heart. Okay, got it now? This is the number two. And then comes number three, the most common, you know it, that is called text me. So either text me or text you. What does that mean? When you said text me, that means you are telling someone to message you. Okay, or text you means I am going to send a message to you. Suppose you are in meeting, what I will say? I say text me after the meeting. So this is called as text me. That means when you want your friend or someone to give you some message, you can say text me or text you. It's very common. Suppose you are in a meeting and you don't want to take the call and your friend call you. So what you said? I will text you. Okay, or please text me. So this is the use of text me and text you. So far three speeches. Okay, we understand. Fine. I hope you clearly understand the three speeches. Okay, now here the next phrase, there is no room for doubt. Okay, when you are 100% sure about something, you will say there is no room for doubt. Suppose your younger brother is working hard, you wanna get 80%, you say my little bro is going to get 80%, there is no room for doubt. Or you say Mr. and Mrs. Das are made for each other, there is no room for doubt. Okay, so here we use there is no room for doubt for those part where we are 100% sure. Okay, then the fourth one, you rock. So sounds good now, you rock. What does that mean? That when you want to impress someone, okay, you want to make an impression, and for that impression you use the word you rock. So for one of your friend Rahul, you want to impress him, what you said? Rahul, you really rock in that denim jeans. So you want to make impression on Rahul, that's why what you said? That Rahul, you rock in that denim jeans. So here is the you rock. But one of the most important thing you need to understand, you use this kind of expression or phrases you rock basically to talk with your friends or juniors or your little brother, not to the senior person. You can go and talk to your teacher that you rock. This is kind of impolite. Okay, so here basically this kind of phrase you need to understand to apply to where. So you are talking with your friend, you are talking with your junior, okay, then only you can use the word you rock. Whenever you are talking with your teacher, to your parents, and to the senior persons, to the senior authority, you can't use the word the rock. Getting my point? So I hope you understand. Well, now the most common phrases you have been hear that break the leg. Wait, literally break the leg does not mean you go and break someone's leg. Okay, try to understand. Break the leg means to say good luck to your friend. Suppose your friend is going for one exam or interview. What you said? Hey buddy, break the leg. Go for it. Like this. That means you're wishing good luck to someone. Don't consider that break the leg means go and break someone's leg. Here, break the leg means wishing someone the good luck. Your friend is going for exam. What do you say? Hey buddy, just break the leg. That means go well for the exam. Suppose your brother is going to have interview. What do you say? Hey bro, let's break the leg. That means you are wishing good luck. Clear now? Break the leg. That means when you want to wish good luck, you use this expression break the leg. Next, don't beat the dead horse. Try to understand. Clumsy. Don't beat the dead horse. Where you use that? Suppose you are doing something and you know that that won't succeed. Okay, you are doing something. Try to understand. You are doing something and you know that that is not succeed. Then you use don't beat the dead horse. Suppose you have a younger brother who wakes up late in the morning. Every day he wakes up at 11 a.m. So right now, if you have seen your mama is trying to wake him up, your brother is sleeping, it is 7 a.m. in the morning and your brother usually wake up at 11, and right now your mama is trying to wake him up at 7 and you know this is not possible, that why gonna wake up at 11. So what you say? Mama, why you are doing this? Don't beat the dead horse, that nothing could happen. So here you know that whatever it's going to do or whatever you are doing, that won't gonna be success. So here use don't beat the dead horse. Now the next phrase is very commonly used, that is eats like a horse. What does that mean? Don't go to the literal meaning. Eats like a horse has nothing to do with the horse, the animal. It is a kind of proverb, but phrase. Eats like a horse implies to those persons who eats a lot. If you have one of your friend eats a lot, fine, you use this phrase, eats a lot. Suppose I am going to celebrate my birthday tonight. What I will say? Look, I am ordering for 2 or 3 extra pizza because Rahul eats like a horse. Rahul is my friend who eats more. So for Rahul, what I say? I am going to order 2 or 3 extra pizza because Rahul eats like a horse. So if or whoever eats a lot, eats more, eats in heavy amount, for those person we use what? Eats like a horse. Now the next part is called as hold your horse. Again, don't go to the literal meaning. Hold your horse means what? If a friend came running to you and hurriedly he's telling you something. You have seen some people, they speak like bullet train. Okay, they didn't have pause, they went on speaking. So if one of your friend came to you and is continuously speaking something without a pause, at that time you say, hey buddy, hold your horse. That means have pause, take some rest, then explain. So what do you say? If your friend is speaking continuously without any breathe, so you say, hey buddy, hold your horse, halt, take some time, then you explain. Okay, that is hold your horse. That means when a person speaks continuously, okay, without taking a rest, in order to make that person stop, you have to say, buddy, hold your horse, have some pause, and now explain. The next part, piece of cake. You hear that now? Piece of cake. What does this phrase mean? Piece of cake. Piece of cake means very easy. That means whatever job given to you or whatever work given to you, if it is much easy, what you say? Oh, that job is a piece of cake to me. Suppose you have gone for one exam, you have done good. When you come home, you said, Mama, what the hell the exam? It was a piece of cake for me. That means it is very easy. Okay, this is about the piece of cake, for used for easy works. When a work or any assignment given to you is what? Easy for you. You can say piece of cake. That work is a piece of cake for me. That exam is a piece of cake for me. Riding the bike is a piece of cake for me. Attending the interview is a piece of cake for me. Clear? I hope you got it. Now, this expression came from France. Especially the French people speak this, called as take two to tango. So basically tango is a dance, but here we have nothing to deal with the dance. So what does this mean? Take two to tango. When two persons are responsible for a single incident, or two persons are responsible for a common mistake, common incident, we're gonna use take two to tango. So for example, in India we say divorce are not one person's fault. It takes two to tango. It takes two to tango. That means in divorce there is a mistake of the husband and mistake of the wife. That's why we say in India the divorce is because of two to tango. Okay, clear? Now the next part, this is no brainer. Okay, so what does that mean? This is no brainer. This is no brainer is a phrase used for those work where you don't want to use your brain. That means the work is that much easy, you don't have to use your brain at all. For example, you have gone for an exam and the question is very easy, you didn't use your brain. So what you say? Oh, that exam, this is no brainer to me. Clear? Oh, that interview, this is no brainer to me. That means very easy, where you don't need to use your brain. For example, you are in class 10th, I have given you a textbook of standard 1. What you say? This sum, this question is, this is a no-brainer for me, because as a 10th class student you can easily do the textbook of class 1. So here you did not use your brain, so you will say this is no-brainer for me. Clear? Now we will go to the next part. It's very easy and commonly used. Okay, what? Stabbed in the back. What does that mean? Stabbed in the back means when one of your close person cheat on you or betray you, you use this expression. What do you mean by cheat? What do you mean by betray? Disloyal, dhoka deba. Okay, suppose your friend cheat on you, you said this phrase. You said, I never ever gonna trust him again. He stabbed me in the back. Okay, clear? Now the next important phrase is very simple. That is, can you please cover for me? Try to understand. Can you please cover for me? You know, this is funny. What does that mean? Suppose you have done something wrong and there is an evidence, and if you want to hide that evidence, try to understand. You have done something wrong and there is an evidence, you want to hide it. Suppose your father is not in your home, you go to your father's room and try to steal the money from the pocket. Unfortunately, your mama saw that. That means she is the evidence. Now you have to say, Mama, can you please cover for me? That means you said, Mama, please don't tell to Papa, otherwise he may kill me. Okay, so this is the what? Can you please cover for me? You want to hide your evidence of wrongdoing. Basically, whenever we are doing something wrong and there is an evidence, the first thing what we need to do to hide that evidence. So whenever you want to hide your evidence of wrongdoing, you have to say, can you please cover for me? Now we will go to the next part. It is called as step up your game. What does this mean? Generally, step up your game means a kind of advice. When you want to explain someone he needs improvement, you gonna use this. Step up your game. Suppose your younger brother is not getting good mark in English. What do you say? Hey little bro, step up your game. That means your brother needs hard work to get good marks. Suppose your friend is having some issue in study, is getting poor mark. What you will say? That buddy, you need to step up your game. That means you have to give your hard work. You are not doing the hard work. You need to hard work. So step up your game is a kind of advice we give to our friend. Okay, the next part is keep up your hard work. What does that mean? Keep up your hard work. A keep up your hard work is a kind of appreciation. If someone is doing good, you want to make appreciation for this, you will say keep up your hard work. For example, hey Sandeep, keep up your hard work. Students keep like your videos. That means you are giving appreciation for someone for his good work. That is keep up your hard work. Now I am going to teach you the next common phrase. It is called as how does that sound, or how does it sound. What does this mean? Whenever you said some idea to a friend and you want to get the feedback, is it correct or not, is it suitable or not, you're gonna use this phrase, how does it sound. Suppose I say, Rahul, I'm going to learn guitar this summer, how does it sound? That means I want to learn guitar. This is my opinion. I told to my friend and in response I want to know. Suppose Rahul think it is good. So what Rahul will reply? It sounds great. Clear? That means a kind of idea you explain and you want the feedback. Okay. Next most important phrase we will discuss, pull yourself together. What does this mean? Pull yourself together. So pull yourself together means to control your emotion. Suppose one of your friend lose the job and is crying, you have to motivate your friend. What do you say? Hey buddy, let's put yourself together. Don't worry, you will get another job. Suppose your friend fail in the exam, he is unhappy, he is crying. What do you say? Hey buddy, pull yourself together. You're gonna definitely get good mark in the next exam. That is called as pull yourself together. That means you are telling your friend to control the emotion, to cut hold the sentiments, the emotion. Okay, that is called as let put yourself together. I hope you understand. The next most common phrase, you gotta be kidding me. Okay, have you heard now in movie, you gotta be kidding me. So what does this mean? You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me means a kind of criticism. Suppose one of your friend who got 60, suppose one of your friend always get less mark, somehow he got 60 in this exam, you say, don't tell he got 60, you gotta be kidding me. Okay, a kind of a criticism when a person who get less mark and right now he got good mark, and one of your friend inform me, look, Rahul is got 60 today, he always get 30. What to say? Don't tell me he got 60. You are kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. So this part, okay? And at last, a very common phrase, that is lucky you. Funny na? Lucky you. What does that mean? When you are appreciating a person for his good luck. Try to understand. When you are appreciating a person for his good luck, you use the word lucky you. Suppose one of your friend got Harley Davidson bike in his birthday gift. What you say? Lucky you boy, you got Harley Davidson as your birthday gift. So this is the lucky you. Or you say, lucky you boy, you got a diamond ring. That is lucky you. So whenever you are praising someone for their good luck, you will say lucky you. So students, these are the common 20 English phrases we use in our day-to-day life. In order to speak fluently, we have to use these 20 English phrases. We have to practice. And right now, a kind of homework to you. What is homework? It's very simple. Out of the 20 phrases I teach you today, you have to use 5 phrases in your own sentence and comment me, and I gonna reply. Out of 20, any 5 you choose, make a sentence and comment me. Okay? And if you like it, kindly share and subscribe my channel. Okay? Thank you.